Good afternoon. It's the Patrick Netherton Show.
Voice of the Demons, right?
Yes.
Touchdown, Demons!
Brined, marinated, or dry rubbed, it's sports the way you like it.
Sports Center top 10 right there!
Talking to the biggest names, bringing you the best interviews.
He actually smokes his beans.
Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All.
The cooler is full, and the brisket is resting.
Just a nice little pull, and it comes right apart. That's perfect.
We eat ribs with this dude.
Here's your master of ceremonies, the Kansas City Barbecue Society certified expert,
Throw the fade, looking for Ferguson. Got it!
Patrick Netherton.
13-yard touchdown. Demons are back in it.
I do like barbecue, as a matter of fact. I like good barbecue. I like good Texas barbecue is what I like, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Patrick Netherton Show right here on 1130 The Tiger. We are very pleased to have you joining us today. Going to be an abbreviated, perhaps inebriated show as we get you set to go on a Thursday. I've got to get out of town. You know, we have a new radio partner down at Northwestern, so everything we do is the first time that we're doing it. It's all brand new. We got new equipment. We've got new folks that we're dealing with. They're great, and I love them to death. And so far, I love the relationship that we got developing. But it's all stuff that's new. And tonight, Raj, it's the first coaches show of the season, and the first coaches show with our new radio group. So I got to bug out a little early to get down there and make sure everything is good to go down there with those guys. So we're actually going to do something a little different today. We're going to bring you some Texans info, Raj. So for the last half hour of the show, from 4:30 to 5, we're going to bring you a little Texans insider info. I do a little, I think it's a daily show actually, where they do Texans insider stuff. Well, we're going to bring that to you at 4:30 because I've got to bug out a little bit early. But Raj, before we bring you that at 4:30, we're going to bring you yet another Division I coach in the state of Louisiana, and that is Willie Fritz, the head coach of the Tulane Green Wave. He is going to join us coming up at 4:15-ish, 4:10, something like that. We got to make sure we verify the exact correct time, but actually, sorry, about 4 o'clock. The show's called Texans All Access, is what it's called. Thank you, Big Boss Man, shooting me a text and letting me know. So we're looking at 4 o'clock for Willie Fritz, 4 o'clock. And then we'll get him on, have him. You can enjoy a conversation about the Tulane Green Wave. Another team, Raj, that seems to be on the cusp of being coming up. I mean, all of these teams, ULM, Tulane, Nichols is sitting at the top of their league at the Southland. The Demons of Northwestern State seem to be, ready to surprise some folks. McNeese has got a brand new head coach, and we're not sure what they're going to be looking like. I mean, there's a lot going on for Northwestern State, Southland, Louisiana, Grambling, Tech, ULM. I mean, Tech looks to take the next step. ULM looks to take the next step. ULL does. Tulane. And, of course, LSU looking to take the next step from from kind of the middle tier of top 25 teams to potentially into that playoff, college football playoff, and maybe on, moving forward after that. So we will see. Raj, I have to tell you something, brother. I got to tell you something. It is kind of weird. Raj has redecorated the studio slightly, and it's kind of weird that when I look at you, I keep looking at Gene. So the Gene Simmons Funko Pop doll is, they're all in their makeup. They're all in their full makeup, but the Gene Simmons one has, of course, the tongue sticking out. And I think it's the only one I've seen that has like an appendage on it that, like the Geordie LaForge one has the visor.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I've ever seen one that has anything
The
to do with the
closest
mouth.
thing I've seen to it, and I'm not going to move it because it's falling down underneath Trish.
Yeah.
Lemmy from Motorhead has a mole on his face.
Okay.
And they have the mole on his face.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a beard and stuff, but I've never seen anything that actually sort of sticks
Protruded?
out.
Okay.
Yeah. And so Gene has the tongue sticking out, and he's in his full demon makeup or whatever, and he's got the man bun at the top that he always has.
Right. And he's even holding a flame that he blows the fire out
Yeah,
with.
but he's got the tongue stick. So every time I kind of look at you, my eyes sort of drift over, and I'm looking, and Gene is staring at me right now.
Well, that's
with
been
his tongue sticking out.
That's been one of my big goals in life, that when people see me, they think of Kiss.
Well, I mean, I already do.
I've had a lifetime of being in the Kiss Army, and have marched on now for 50 years almost.
So just it's. I will say, of all the Funko Pop dolls, I like the ones that have something sort of different and unique about them. Yeah. You know, I mean, it's one thing. Look, I mean,
because they all have the same head shape,
they all
and
have
all
the same
that.
head,
Same
and
eyes.
typically they have those little black button eyes.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes maybe they'll look a little different in the face, or they'll have, you know, different hair, they'll have different bodies or whatever.
Basically, it's the same.
And you know, all of the Kiss ones, they're holding guitars, and I'm sure the one for
the
Peter Criss will probably have drums.
He does.
Or something.
He has drums. He's known for this drumstick thing he used to do.
Yeah.
And he's behind a little bitty set of drum kits, and that's the only one I need left to have all four.
That's not what the Def Leppard drummer Funko Pop looks like.
No,
it looks different.
It's a lot different.
Yeah. So, but Gene's. He's got the demon makeup on everything, and he's got the top top knot. Is that a wig, by the way?
It is now.
Okay, didn't used to be.
No.
Okay.
And Paul's wearing one too.
Okay.
Now. Yeah.
But he's got but the thing literally, and they all have guitars. Like, that's pretty common. But he's literally got his tongue sticking out of the little face, and it just kind of like. Honestly, I didn't look at them. I bought them for you over the weekend.
Yeah, you had a lot going on at the conventions. You're just grabbing them and going.
Yeah, but I didn't look at them very closely. Even after I had them for a day before I gave them to you. I should have looked at them a little more. I might have just kept the Gene Simmons one because it's kind of cool and unique.
It is cool. Yeah.
It's kind of a cool, different one. Anyway, so Gene Simmons is staring at me as I do the show, and the spirit of Gene Simmons in the Rogers Hampton stares at me every day as we do the Patrick Netherton Show here on 1130 The Tiger.
There you go, big fella.
All right, so we're back. Rogers and I are reunited back again in studio after I was in, there you go, after I was in Natchitoches all day yesterday.
Still got to recut this.
Yeah, we just got to get it to the hook. You know, that's it.
Yeah.
I was a fool to ever leave your side.
But you had a mock football game to do.
That's right. I was a fool, though, Roger. Luckily, the air conditioning was on in the press box, or I would have died.
Oh, thank goodness.
I would have died. And now, the best part is, so I interviewed the facilities manager yesterday, Mike Doty, and if the air conditioning hadn't been on, I would have just basically spent the entire interview berating him for not having the air conditioning on. That's right.
At least get the radio part in, yeah.
That's right. It is the Patrick Netherton Show. Rogers and I are reunited. Back in studio again. Although next week, Rogers and I are going to see each other for just 2 days.
Yeah.
Be here
We've
Monday.
seen each other today since what, 10:30 this morning?
We've been together
We've had
for
a lot
a bit.
to do today. With a lot of pre-production.
Had a lunch.
Sure did.
Kickoff lunch for Northwestern State in the Indy Bowl that we went and Rogers didn't eat at. Because Rogers, you know, look, Hambone. Here's the great thing about Hambone. Rogers and I have known each other since '99. Okay, and I would say we've been close since we got on the Brando show, which was what, 5 years ago, 6 years ago?
It's been 4 years since
since it ended.
Yeah.
So 8 years. It was like 20...
we did 4. Yeah, so it's been 8 years since the Brando thing.
Okay, was
2011?
Was it 11?
Yeah, it was 11.
How? That's crazy, man.
Because we went to the 12 Super Bowl in New Orleans.
Yeah. All right, so...
Golly,
I know,
Patrick.
it's crazy. I'm telling you, that's why. If you would have told me, oh, yeah, you started 4 years ago on the Brando show, I'd have been like, okay, sounds about right.
No, I've been back with Fletch 4 years now this summer.
That's wild. Anyway, so that's when Hambone and I, got real close. We'd go to lunch a lot and whatever. So
the whole gang.
I've eaten lunch with Hambone or a dinner or whatever. I've eaten more meals with Hambone than I probably have just about anybody else in my life in the last 10 years or so. And so I feel like I know his various proclivities pretty well. I feel like I know where not to take him for lunch or even suggest we go for lunch. I know which foods he doesn't like. I know that if we go somewhere, he's going to order something burnt, and then he's going to order it burnt, and then he's going to want to put A1 on it, which I think is hilarious because if you just order it not burnt, it'll be juicy enough where you don't need A1. And if you just want the flavor of A1, you can put a little on the side or whatever. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. Hambone's the only guy I know that'll take a juicy piece of meat, dry it out, and then rejuice it with something after the fact. I love my boy. So But even to this day, in 2019, 20 years after Hambone and I first started working together, and 8 years after we started eating regularly with each other, I still find out things about my boy that I didn't know. Today I found out that Hambone doesn't like meatloaf. Well, look, that's not unusual. There are a lot of people that don't like meatloaf. I'm not particularly a fan of meatloaf.
To me, it's like the fruitcake of meat.
Yeah, I mean, it's you kind of squish the meat together, and then. But here's the problem. See, at most houses, you basically just you squunch the ground beef together, whatever it is. You put it together. You make a loaf of meatloaf. But then most of the time, when you're cooking it at home, it's not a gourmet meal. You're doing it because it's practical and it's cheap. And so you typically just slather it with some sort of ketchup-based sauce. And it's usually not particularly good. Now, there are some people and I know Rogers is getting meatloaf as we speak. Okay, yeah. Rogers always got to be on his toes when it comes to the definitely meatloaf. We know that. So, but most of the time when people are cooking at home, it's because it's a cheap food to make. You can make a lot of it for very little cost, and then most people are not putting a lot of effort into what sauce they're putting on top of it, right? So they slather it with some sort of ketchup-based sauce, and a lot of times it's kind of just ketchup, right? There's not a whole lot into it. All right, so I understand for a lot of people, and look, I'm not a huge meatloaf guy. All right. I'm not necessarily a massive meatloaf fan, but the Northwestern State Quarterback Club luncheons that are held at Superior Steakhouse will sometimes do meatloaf as the lunch. Well, at that place, it's really good. Like it's not a cheap meal at that point. It's a high quality food item when you get it at Superior Steakhouse. So I tell Rogers when we're getting ready to go over there, used to be back in the day, we'd do it at Ralph and Kaku's, and you'd have a choice of like 4 menu items. But now at Superior Steakhouse, because they kind of cook everything, they're not really taking orders. It's okay, here's what's on the menu. Sometimes it's chicken, sometimes it might be sometimes we've had a fish before, but it's usually a chicken or meatloaf or something in that vein, right? Well, today it was meatloaf. Well, today is the day I found out that Rogers Hampton hates meatloaf. Didn't know that. Can't stand it. Doesn't like the smell of it. Doesn't like to look at it. Fletcher has the one commercial with the Daiquiri Express about the 5 senses.
Yeah.
Like every one of Rogers' 5 senses is repelled by meatloaf.
Oh, and then you put ketchup on it?
Right.
Ugh.
And then you go to Superior Steakhouse and they actually put a good sauce on it. It's not just slathering it with ketchup. But you already have that in your mind that you hate meatloaf. So we get meatloaf, all right? Well, the meatloaf comes with mashed potatoes and green beans. And Rogers is always already like, look, I'm not eating meatloaf. And I was like, okay, I understand. Look, I get it. Again, I'm not a huge meatloaf guy. I get it. But I will say the Superior Steakhouse meatloaf is very good. Now, I'm thinking, well, at least Rogers, having a child of the South, having grown up in Houston, in Shreveport, like at least this is a guy that will eat some mashed potatoes. Like we can at least get him some mashed potatoes. Only to find out that my boy Hambone doesn't like mashed potatoes either. Too mushy, right? Too mushy?
Yeah, too much of that full
I mean, you don't have to put all of them in your mouth at once.
It's like I've spit something up and I'm chewing it back down again. I can eat a baked potato with cheese and bacon bits and all that because it's a hard baked potato.
Right.
It's not soft, but that mushy orange will go in your mouth like that.
You may be one of, I don't know if you're the only one, but you're certainly one of the few children of the South I know that doesn't like mashed potatoes. Because that is such a Southern staple.
I know, very much so. Very much so.
So my boy Hambone
now I'm 2 strikes against me.
And now I'm not even, honestly, I'm not even thinking that you're going to eat green beans. Like I never had a thought that you would like the green beans, which by the way, their green beans are also very good. Their mashed potatoes were delicious.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
That's just
And
three
so-
food groups together that made me almost have to leave.
And so Hambone is sitting over there while we're waiting for Brad Laird to speak and the program and everything, and he's just like turning white. Like he's paling out as I speak, and I'm like, uh-oh, like Hambone does not look well over there. As like they walked by with a plate of meatloaf, sir. Would you like? Oh no, thank you. No, I'm good. Man,
And when they sat down all those meatloafs with all four of y'all at the table, and all that fresh smell hit me, and then the waiters kept coming by. Oh, did nobody bring you anything?
Yeah.
No,
they
leave
were
me
being
alone.
They were being very attentive, like doing their job.
Yes, just keep
But-
my water and tea filled so my
That's right.
bladder's got something in it.
And so my boy did not, unfortunately, get to enjoy any lunch.
Hey, and I
today
didn't
at
waste
the-
any food. I didn't take the plate and act like
Actually, I wish you would have. I wish you'd have said, "Yeah, give it to me." You just handed it over to me.
Well, I wish you would have said something.
I'd eaten yours.
I wish you'd have said something. Then I would have had it plopped down, because that would have looked better than me sitting there with no plate and everybody else in the damn place has a plate.
But I will say they did have a big plate of cookies and brownies, and those were also delicious.
And see, I couldn't even eat
Right.
those because I had no food in my belly.
Right.
And the
Eat
last
the-
thing I needed turning white
pour-
and pale is to sugar
pour
rush myself.
sugar it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pour some sugar on you.
Yeah. See,
No, you don't have to change. You
I know.
can stay with
but
meatloaf.
I was already in the Def Leppard category.
I know. Yeah.
No, so I got three strikes.
Three
against me,
strikes
man.
and Rogers was
Three
out.
things on the plate. Didn't like any of them. Nothing against the place,
No.
any of that.
And then
but in the old days when we went, like you said, there was always a choice.
Yeah.
Now that I know that I don't even have a choice, I'm going out less than I ever have before.
I mean, it's only that place.
Yeah.
Only that
I
event
was so
that you get
sickened
there.
by it that when that smell gets in my nose, kind of like the Chinese food, you tried to stop 100 places
Yeah.
coming back to the station,
Yeah,
get me
it's like,
something to
let's go
eat.
get something
Once
to eat,
I've
whatever.
got that smell in my nose
Yeah.
and I feel that sickness, even crappy McDonald's burger, I was like, oh, I can't put a crappy burger on top of a crappy smell. Can't do it. He was like, we'll
903
go over here to this one. We'll go to this. I
Yeah.
said, dude, I'm done, man. That smells
903
in my
said
nose.
take him for Chinese food next time. So, yeah.
Well, if you want to see Patrick dead, then that's what he needs to do.
Dead.
He better drop me off about 5 blocks before, and I'll wait on a bus bench
Wait
for
on a
him.
bus. I love it.
No, that meatloaf and that combination of the green beans, it was the closest thing to that nasty Chinese smell. And I was like, I may have to get up and walk out of here in the middle of Brad's speech. And he kept looking right at me, Brad, too.
yeah.
Oh, God, why do I got
And he's so engaging
Yes,
and
that's what I
such a
said.
good
And I'm really
dude.
good at making eye contact back, too. I'm not shy. I was like, oh, man, I may have to get up and pop on out of here.
Yeah.
Because I had Bob Griffin sitting right next to me, and he's not the fastest eater.
No.
So I was really smelling that. At least
Yeah.
you and Fletch were kind of big
Yeah.
chunk.
I got
big
it out.
chunk.
I
Oh,
got it
poor
done.
Bob was just picking and picking. I was like,
And then the guy next to him
got
actually
something
left.
to go.
Yeah, left it on his plate. And then they came to try to get it. And he's like, no, I'm going to
he
take
almost,
something
he
to
almost
go.
bit that kid's hand
Yeah,
off.
the poor guy.
And then he got a to-go plate
Yeah.
for one chunk of meatloaf.
You know, like a little bit of meatloaf and some mashed potatoes. Cody says nobody should be eating meatloaf there. Well, Cody, we didn't have a choice. It was not a. It was. We didn't have a menu in front
Yeah,
of
the
us.
days of choices are over.
Yeah, and B, and again, I will say, as a guy who is not particularly a meatloaf fan, their meatloaf is very good at Superior. At Superior Steakhouse, I'm a fan, and their mashed potatoes were good. The only thing I didn't like, their green beans are delicious. I just wish there would have been more than 4 of them on the plate. Like, can you spoon me out like 10 green beans? Like, literally,
And it
I
was
had
almost
4.
like I was watching one of those cooking shows we talk
Yeah.
about where they
put the
just to make
drizzle
for appearances of stuff. I was
Yeah.
like, do you realize who this is?
Yeah. Do you see my size?
I'm sitting next to Fletcher and Netherton.
Right.
I think they like to eat.
We're a buffet's worst nightmare.
I'm the size of Bob Griffin, so obviously I don't eat much and he don't eat much.
Yeah.
But these big boys here, I wish now I would have gotten that plate. I didn't even think about y'all sharing it. I'm sorry, bud.
Kachu said the dang meatloaf at Superior is the ground-up trimming from cutting up their tenderloins into fillets. Wow. That means that's a heck of
so
a
they
high
ruined
quality
meat
of
then.
that's a heck of a high quality of meat. That's
Still
pretty
has
good.
that same smell.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's not really new ways to cook
No,
meatloaf.
that's
You
what
know,
I'm
it's
saying.
still
And once I don't like a smell of something, buddy, that is it.
No, ham bone's out.
I'm out.
Ham bone is out. Like
Because if I start that gagging reflex of mine, I have a hard time stopping it. And with nothing in my body, gee, that's all I wanted to do was dry heave all damn afternoon.
I mean, you do that anyway because you have to see me in the afternoons.
Well,
but-
I usually go in there and stick my finger down my throat before
okay.
you get here to
You clear it out?
kind of pre-puke.
Yeah, clear it out. I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
Today, if I just get white and dizzy, it's because I haven't eaten.
Right. And as he said, I tried to stop anywhere we could.
Let's let everybody know that we're not kidding. I texted my daughter because she was coming through town and she had some meetings, and I was like, hey, I'm going to go have some a luncheon with Patrick, so make sure you take care of yourself. I'll see you later. So she finally texted me, oh, man, that's great, Dad. Hope you're enjoying lunch. I'll see you later. So I was like, well, unfortunately, babe, I said I didn't get to eat. I said they had meatloaf, green beans, and mashed potatoes. And she texted, I know,
and don't forget the little tomato with the cheese on top of it, which I know you wouldn't have eaten either.
No, there was, that. And so I said, yuck. And then she texted back. She goes, oh, no, your worst nightmare. And did like 3 emojis with the hands over the face. Yeah. That's how well my daughter knows. And she goes, oh, no. She goes, well, Dad, well, what do you want for dinner to help make up for the lunch that was a bust? I said, babe, you know I can't eat at night now. I said that with my blood pressure and stuff, I said, I can't go to bed full. And get up at 2:30 in the morning. It just doesn't work. She's like, well, Dad, you have to eat. And I said, 55 years old, I've gone 2 or 3 days without eating anything, so I'm good. And as long as I've got that smell in my nose, because if I think about it,
you get you some smelling salt.
No, if I think about it, then all of a sudden the nose senses kick in, and then there's whoa, take that plate away from me.
The interesting thing is a couple of things about scents, about smelling.
Yeah.
One is there is nothing that is tied to memory more than smell. Like, you think about the times that you remember something specific based on a smell.
Oh.
Like, I remember, Raj, you may or may not have ever smelled this before, but my father owns a construction company, does a lot of dirt work, concrete work, that kind of thing. So I grew up around, backhoes, digging up ground or whatever, and there's a certain clay that has sort of a sour smell to it, kind of a stink almost. But when I smell that, it is an immediate positive memory in my head because it reminds me of my childhood and being out. Like one of his operators would let me sit on and work the backhoe, and so I would sit there when I was a kid and I'd have the handles and I'd be scooping things up and all scooping dirt up, moving it around, dumping it out or whatever. But there's a very particular smell that a certain type of clay has in the dirt, and that always reminds me of that. So it's a good memory. The smell of meatloaf, obviously, is a bad memory. It's funny how that happens. And then the second part of smell is your taste is a function of smell. Like when you smell things, that's how you taste them. Like when you taste something, it's because of your olfactory senses in your nose. That's how it ultimately ends up happening. That's why when you're stopped up, or if you hold, they say hold your nose to drink something you don't like, because if you can't smell, the taste is deadened, because taste is a function of smell. So there's your Mr. Know-It-All moment for the day, everyone. You're welcome. Anyway, so if my poor boy Hambone did not, I got a honey bun back here. If you want a honey bun, Raj,
but I'm telling you right now, I'm regurgitating from talking about this now.
Don't regurgitate,
no,
man.
I've got the burn sting coming up.
Don't burn sting anything. Don't do anything. Don't do any of that. Keep it all down. Drink some water. Get it all down. We'll move on to talking about how you can get in touch with the show. There's multiple ways that you can do that. You can call us at 318-320-1130, 318-320-1130. You can text us at 318-6570-HAM, which is what Rogers has consumed so far today, 0 ham. 318-657-0426. That's the text line, 6570-HAM. You can also find us on Facebook. We're on Facebook Live, back on there. You can find us very easily there. Brian asked if I'm going to review the Popeyes sandwich. I absolutely am going to review the Popeyes sandwich. Don't worry, that will be coming. Don't steal my thunder, Brian. Don't steal my segments. Anyway, yes, and I'll tell you about that in just a second. But you can watch us on Facebook Live, facebook.com/Netherton Show, or just go on the Facebook page, search for Netherton Show. And again, if you like what you're hearing, you're enjoying the show, please give us a like, give us a follow, recommend it, share it with your friends, tell your friends, hey, listen to the Patrick Netherton Show. Tell your friends that potentially have money and want to sponsor the show. Hey, come sponsor the show. Let me help get the word out for you. I mean, if you want me to mention your name multiple times when I'm having guys like Karch Karai and LeVar Burton on the air and Drew Brees and Larry the Cable Guy, you want me to mention Hey, this is we're talking to Willie Fritz from Tulane, courtesy of the Hampton Industries Hampton Unlimited text line or the Hampton Unlimited guest line. That can be you. So we encourage you to tell all your friends, or if you are someone that wants to be a part of the show, let me help you get the word out about your business. Text us at 657-0426, 657-0-HAM. Twitter, at Netherton Show. That's the main page, at main Twitter page. You can also go to at PT Netherton, at PT Netherton, or you can send us, if you like, a tweet to at Heyboy Rogers if you want to console him for his bad lunch experience that he had. He enjoyed everything else. It was just he didn't get to actually eat any of the lunch that was provided. But the show was good. Yeah, the show was terrific. Yeah, the company was good. And the best part about it is when you take Rogers in public, like everybody just knows him. And I find it amusing because it's not like you see Rogers' face very often, right? Everyone knows his voice. Like you hear Rogers' voice all the time. But it's not like people get to see Rogers with regularity. Like I'm on Facebook Live pretty much every day, so I understand that people know what my face looks like. And I'm very, on social media, all that stuff. So if you see my face, I get it. But when people just walk up to Rogers, they're like, "Hey, boy, I enjoy talking to you." Everything. He's like, "Hey, partner, how you doing? Everything? How's your family? Partner, man, it's so good to see you. Hey, Tony Papa, man, it's so good to see you. How are you doing? Give me a hug. You know my daddy loved you." Like that's what going out with Rogers is. It's just people walking up to us. And it's funny because no one wants to talk to me when we're out. Like, I mean, it's not like there's anything here in this network called the Rogers Hampton Show, all right? There is a Patrick Netherton Show, but no one wants to talk to me. Everyone wants to talk to Rogers Hampton. He's so much more popular than everyone else. And then, of course, as soon as they engage him, it's a 15-minute conversation where he's found out everything about their Aunt Becky and Uncle Sam and everything else. How's your mom?
Well, I may not see him again for a while.
You may not. May not, especially with no choice for lunch.
Hey,
you got to get on the Jack Britton plan where he goes in and orders his own stuff when he gets in there. He's just like, "Hey, can I just get a salad?"
You know what? I wish I'd have known I could have done this.
Yeah, I didn't know that you could do it either, for that matter.
Yeah,
but we have to do the Rogers Hampton side menu.
Yeah, got to see Mr. Leo Sanford, one of my favorite people that I've known my whole life. Great friends with my dad. He was looking good, sounding good. It was really nice to see some old familiar faces that I don't get to see as much anymore since my dad's been gone now 9 years. So it's really like, and running into Tony Papa because he and my dad were always compared together in their stature, their size, their speed, their strength. Yeah. My whole life, Tony Papa was that.
Yeah.
So it just, I enjoyed going. The company was fantastic. Missy, all the Independent Spoke crew, Art, Eric. I mean, Doug Ireland, you just can't get rid of that guy.
No. He retired, but he just keeps showing up everywhere.
Coach Brad Laird, the enthusiasm he has. And you know what? I'm going to be, just barring some unforeseen horrible injuries, I am going to be so surprised if your football team is not close to a winning record or has one.
Yeah.
Listening to him talk, and it wasn't just coach speak. When he was talking about he found out Northwestern was picked last in the conference, he almost chuckled.
Yeah.
Because when he goes, those are people on the outside looking in and just judging. They have no idea what I've got on the inside.
Well, it's interesting because, and we can get into more of this at some point. But it's interesting because I don't think anybody knew. I mean, I guess everyone assumed that Jazz Ferguson played every position. I don't know. I mean, yeah, he's a huge loss, and they lost a lot in the receiving corps, but everybody else is back. I don't know. Anyway. Let's see. What do we have? The app. Download the app. 11:30 The Tiger. Always a great way to take part in the show. And that guy over there, ladies and gentlemen, we've got to introduce him. Even though we've talked to him multiple times so far today, we've got to give him his proper introduction.
Hey, boy!
Hey, boy. Well, that's a very interesting opening segment.
Yeah.
And it's already 30 after, so we need to break because we got to squeeze in an extra one because of our special guest.
Rogers is like, oh, by the way, we're going to need to take some extra breaks today.
And we haven't.
And we have not. All right, we're going to do a short segment, but I want to review the Popeyes chicken sandwich, all right? And I got a bunch of texts to get to, so we'll get to all that. Patrick Netherton Show off and running. Told Rogers we get extra breaks in, and sure enough, we have not because that's how we roll. Actually, a longer first segment than most days when we're at about 25. Poor sweet ham bone. Speaking of meatloaf, I hope this meatloaf doesn't make you gag, Rogers. I hope he's the only meatloaf Rogers can handle. Though Rogers has never smelled this meatloaf, so maybe it might make him gag. Who knows? Right, maybe after a concert, this might make him gag. It's the Patrick Netherton Show.
There's nothing left inside of me.
Locally owned and operated, Chevyland has just a cornucopia of 2019 Chevy Silverados and Silverado 2500 HDs up to 10% off through GM Financial or 0% financing with $1,500 off on all crew cabs. Slide on in to a brand new Silverado. At Chevyland, we care about you.
Contacting your workers' comp carrier shouldn't be a painful process.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Please re-enter your policy number or say representative. I'm sorry, I didn't.
Representative.
Ugh. At Luba, we don't have robots answering our phones. We have humans, like Lisa.
Thank you for calling Luba Workers Comp. How may I help you?
Answering your call is just the first of many ways we set ourselves apart. Visit LUBAWC.com to experience the Luba difference.
What democratic socialism is about is saying,
sorry, I just don't feel the burn. Socialized medicine price controls and cookie-cutter coverage would cripple what makes our Medicare drug coverage great.
Right. So why would Senator Cassidy oppose an amendment protecting our coverage and leadership in medical innovation?
Senator Cassidy, let's reject innovation-killing price controls and protect the market forces in Medicare drug coverage. Learn more at freemarketmedicare.org. Paid for by Americans for Tax Reform.
Your wife is hot. Like really, really hot. Like, I think she may pass out.
Mike, the AC is out again.
Don't sweat it. Call AirServe Shreveport. AirServe Shreveport can have your AC up and running like new in no time. No matter when you need them, AirServe Shreveport guarantees 100% satisfaction and that it's fixed right or free. With upfront pricing and no overtime fees, AirServe Shreveport will do it all.
Mike!
Book your appointment today online at airserve.com.
Is it time to redo your back patio or kitchen? Or what about finally getting to those little projects finished around your house? Football season is here, and you want your house looking amazing before all the house parties start. So call H2 Home Renovations. They'll have your home looking its best in no time. Check out some of their work online. Just go to h2homerenovations.com to find out more info. H2 Home Renovations. Reimagine your home.
Do you hear that Coors Light being poured? It's the perfect temperature. How can I tell just based on the sound? I can't. But I can see that the mountain on the can is blue. And when the mountain is blue, your Coors Light is perfectly cold. Coors Light is cold lagered for a crisper taste, cold filtered for brightness and clarity, and cold packaged for peak refreshment. Doesn't that sound good? 2019 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Hey, Sleepy.
This JCPenney mattress is the best sleep I've had in a while.
I guess we should buy it then. Sir, we'll take this one.
The JCPenney Labor Day mattress sale is happening now. Get up to 60% off select Sealy, Beautyrest, Stearns & Foster, Serta, and Tempur-Pedic. Plus, save an extra 15% with your coupon from jcp.com. Also, get up to 60-month special financing with your JCPenney credit card. Offers valid until 9/8. Some restrictions and exclusions apply. Credit offer subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store or jcp.com for details.
Oh, turn on the back-to-school radio. Oh my gosh, I love that back-to-school haircut. Hey, don't forget your back-to-school savings!
Love back to school? Save up to $4 on back-to-school favorites like Nature Valley. Find coupons on select Nature Valley products.
I was in the United States Army for 12 years, and if we had a stressful time, we'd say, hey, let's go smoke a cigarette. The further I got away from the military, being in corporate environments and it not being as prevalent, being around smokers, I would become the odd man out. The first time I actually tried Juul, I was surprised at how similar it was to a cigarette.
Chris made the switch in 2018. To make the switch, visit JUUL.com.
Jewel Labs compensated this individual for their time and expenses in providing this testimonial. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
It's time for some straight talk. Look, you wouldn't spend more to get the exact same thing, would you? No. So when I tell you that Straight Talk Wireless runs on the same cell towers as the big guys but charges up to half the cost, you see where I'm going with this, right? Get America's best 4G LTE networks for less. The unlimited plan is just $45 a month with 25 gigs at high speeds, then 2G. Straight Talk Wireless, only at Walmart.
Savings may vary. See straighttalk.com.
Every day is a great day when you're at Buffalo Wild Wings. Lunch, happy hour, dinner, or late night, you're going to find great deals in both the bar and the dining room. Like every Thursday when boneless wings are specially priced all day long. The weekend starts on Thursday at Buffalo Wild Wings. Visit BuffaloWildWings.com for your location.
I'm just about ready to go back to school, so my mom's finishing her shopping list at Walgreens. They have everything we need at great prices. This week, you can get deals on bubbly 12-ounce 8-packs just $3 for $9.99. And Gatorade 20-ounce 4-packs only $2 for $4.99. I love this stuff for my lunchbox. Stop into Walgreens for all your back-to-school must-haves. Deals valid with your card through August 31st. Quantities are limited. Walgreens, trusted since 1901.
Football season is here, and hunting season is just around the corner. Kick off your Wednesdays with the best outdoor show on radio, the Hook It Up and Trackin' Down Show. Every Wednesday at 11 and Saturday mornings from 6 to 8. Heard exclusively right here on AM 1130, The Tiger.
Where Shreveport and Bossier come for LSU sports. 1130, The Tiger.
Let's get to the meat of the matter with producer Rogers Hampton.
Hey, boy!
Here's your master of ceremonies, Patrick Netherton.
Been a cruel summer for my boy Hambone. Temperatures over 100 degrees every day. He finally gets himself a free lunch, and he can't eat it. Well, he won't eat it. Could eat it. Didn't eat it. Yeah, it's a Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger. All right, I promised Hambone a few breaks, so we're going to do a couple of smaller segments. But I did want to get to some texts at 318-6570-HAM, 318-657-0426. This must be what it feels like to be Ben and JJ. I'm basically doing like an hour and 20 minutes of radio here at this point. Again, Willie Fritz, the head coach of the Tulane Green Wave, will join us at the top of the hour. And about 4:10 or so, we'll have Willie Fritz on and get him on to chat about what's going down with the Green Wave. A lot of texts to get to. If you want to text us, you can. 318-657-0426, 318-657-HAM. High Rail said something happened to Rogers as a kid. 318 says, I guess it's good that Rogers got a Sloppy Joe this morning for breakfast. Well, he got some of a Sloppy Joe for breakfast. Cody said, what do y'all think about the Stros denying Detroit reporter access to Verlander due to the outcome of game? Probably a good idea. I didn't hear any of that. I know that he threw a two-hitter, and both of them were solo shots, and they lost 2-1.
No, this stems straight from his time in Detroit. Apparently, the reporter they sent from Detroit had given him trouble, and he even said he's an unethical reporter. He said ahead of time, do not let this guy in. Yeah. So it had nothing to do with him losing 2-1 on a two-hitter. Apparently, he's had past run-ins with this report from the Detroit Free Press, I think, was there.
So
that's sense. What that was. It wasn't just no media because Justin's mad.
Well, he said it seemed like it was just this guy.
It was. And
Verlander's he's a pro. He's done this for so long.
And he had to release a statement today saying, look, they know I've had a run-in with this guy before.
Yeah.
I can't stand his unethical ways of reporting, and that's it. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, well, this violates the MLB's player. You know what? He'll write a damn check out of Kate Upton's checking account. Right. Here, what do you need? Shut up.
Yeah, this is Kate had a check lying around from her last swimsuit edition.
Hey, what is this stuff? Oh,
yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Draco said that Rogers should open Hampton Sporting Goods. He would do good as many people as he knows. Plus, he could drink at work. Roll Tide.
But I'm hoping he's commenting on that off of me saying on the air.
Yeah, talking about
that. That's what I wanted to do when I hit college was I'm going to do Hampton Sporting Goods. Yeah. But I'm sitting as a marketing major in finance, business. I don't. What's this got to do with the ball and the bat and the glove?
Yeah. Okay, so Cookie Man sends a long text about the worst thing he's ever smelled, and I'm not going to read it because I've read it. And I don't want to say it on the air because I don't want Rogers throwing up. So I'm going to censor this for Roger's sake. Let's just say he smelled something really bad, okay? Cookie Man at one point smelled something really bad. Anyway, we'll move on from there. 318 number says, where do I get the Popeyes Sammy? Every location says we don't have it. Well, that's a funny story, and I'll get to that momentarily. A couple last texts. 318 show said, great show, really enjoy it. We shouldn't feel sorry for Rodgers. We should feel sorry for the GOAT Bob Griffin having to sit at that table with that group of dudes. I mean, Bob Griffin has interviewed Willie Mays. I picture you and Rodgers calling Bob Griffin Bobby G.
Hey, he chose to sit down by me. We were already sitting there in the Legends. He sat next to me, so he made that choice.
That was Adam from Bossier. First text from Adam from Bossier. We appreciate
welcome
it,
aboard,
man.
Adam.
Keep texting, man. We definitely appreciate it.
We hope to be able to give a name of a business when we read your text.
Yeah,
soon.
At some point.
At some point.
And Cody said thanks for clearing that up with Verlander. All right, let's talk about the Popeyes chicken sandwich, Raj, because as you know, I mean, even
it was a topic of the subject at the luncheon that I wish I'd have had one there.
If even you, who's not that much on social media, has probably seen all the posts about the chicken.
Yeah,
okay.
Living in Louisiana and the Popeyes, you cannot. Yeah.
So the Popeyes chicken sandwich came out, and it's basically created this firestorm of which one's better, the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich or the Popeyes chicken sandwich. Now, let me go on record first as saying I do not like chicken on bread. All right? If you give me a good piece of fried chicken, a good fried chicken fillet, as it were, I just will eat it. I don't need it on bread for any reason. I think bread, I don't say it ruins it. That's too strong. But bread doesn't add anything to eating a good piece of fried chicken. All right? So let me start there. Now, like when I go to Chick-fil-A and I get the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, I eat the pickles off of it because they put 2 pickles on it. I eat the pickles off of it. I throw the bun away. I take the filet, I'll eat it, and typically I'll dunk it maybe in some sauce of some kind, either some barbecue or the Chick-fil-A sauce or honey mustard, whatever. I'll dip it in some barbecue and eat it that way, almost like a big chicken nugget. And they're good. I love the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich filet. So, Raj, in the name of science, because you know this is the show, if anyone's going to experiment, I'm going to try the Impossible Whopper, even though I just read something that some scientists said that the Impossible Burger has almost identical ingredients as dog food. So I'm still going to try it at some point. I mean, maybe I should just get a can of Alpo in here and just eat that. You know, I'm not bringing you one. I'm going to do that myself, Rogers. I promise.
I mean, I wouldn't even let you stop to get a regular one.
Right, exactly. Much less the one that's like dog food.
How about over here? They just keep driving.
Yeah. Much less the one that has the same ingredients as dog food. I'm going to try it, though.
No, I know you are.
I'll try it.
You're way more adventuresome than me when it comes to that.
All right, so you cannot get the Popeyes chicken sandwich in Shreveport. It does not here. Now, I had heard this past Monday they were going to have it. They didn't. I have heard today they were going to have it. I have no idea. I haven't gone by a Popeyes today to check. I was too busy driving Rogers around asking him if he wanted to eat somewhere. So last night I was in Natchitoches for the mock game, the broadcast, where we're gonna, we're working on our stuff. And I said, you know what? I know they have them in Natchitoches because I've seen people post about them. I'm going to stop in at Popeyes, which is right near the interstate. I'm going to stop at Popeyes. I'm going to get the chicken sandwich. I'm going to get out of here. Now, what I didn't know is the chicken sandwich came in 2 different flavors, the original and the spicy. Now, when I go to Popeyes to get just chicken, I always get spicy. I love their spicy chicken. Okay, so I figure what we're probably going to get is you're going to get one breast that's just cooked like the original, and you're going to get one that's cooked like the spicy with the different, the different breading or whatever on it that makes it spicy. Well, I open them up, and Rogers, again, I'm driving, so I didn't get to really sit down and really, take them apart and whatnot. Well, I didn't get to do a real scientific survey, but I believe both chicken breasts are the same. I think they're just the regular chicken breast that's cooked, the boneless, that's cooked, the filet. They put it on a bun, and then I believe they put 2 different sauces on them, depending on if you want the original or the spicy. The original has a white sauce on it, which I'm assuming is maybe like a mayonnaise type thing. And then the spicy has an orange sauce, which I'm assuming is some sort of a, like a buffalo style sauce, something like that that's got some spice to it, all right? I don't think the chicken breast itself are cooked any differently. But again, I could be wrong about that, but that's just what I gathered. So, Raj, in the interest of science, I ordered one of each. I grabbed the Diet Coke.
That was very smart of you to do that. I have not seen other people do that.
Well, you know what? Look, I figure I'm going to try both, to see what I'm going to give you an
That's
actual
why
evaluation.
You're a food judging expert.
That's why I'm here. So I start driving back and I start eating. I take the original out first, Raj. Cooked well. Ingredients were great. It was hot and fresh. Tasted fine. Didn't blow me away. I wasn't just over the moon with the original. I thought, well, the spicy is what everyone goes to Popeyes for anyway. Spicy, the chicken, that's what everyone. So I know I'm going to get blown away by the spicy. I'm ready at this point. So I take out the spicy chicken sandwich. I started eating it again. Well breaded, well cooked, juicy, taste. All the stuff that you want. The ingredients were fresh, everything. But what I found with the spicy one, Raj, is it wasn't flavorful. It was just spicy. And I don't know if people can maybe differentiate what I mean by that. Sometimes you eat something that's spicy, but it has a good flavor to it. It just happens to have a little kick of spice to it. Sometimes you eat things that are just spicy, that don't have a discernible flavor to them. They just make your mouth hot. Well, that's what I found with the Popeyes spicy chicken sandwich. I thought it was just spicy for the sake of being spicy. I didn't think it added any flavor. So honestly, Raj, I enjoyed the original more than I enjoyed the spicy, because the original, I could taste the pickle, I could taste a little bit of the sauce, I could taste the chicken itself. I didn't think either one of them blew me away, but I certainly, and like I said, I order spicy chicken when I go to Popeyes and get regular chicken, but the spicy chicken sandwich did nothing for me. And I wanted to like it. I wanted to have it blow me away. It did not blow me away. And honestly, I'll probably do if I order the chicken sandwich from Popeyes again, I'll probably do exactly with it what I do with the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich. I'll probably just throw the bun away, pop the fillet out, and I was about to say pop the breast out. That's a completely different thing.
Okay, Janet Jackson,
exactly.
Settle down over there, Skippy.
I pop the fillet out and probably eat it straight as. I will say the Popeyes chicken sandwich is much more breaded, so it has more crunch to it. It has more of that breading and that crunchy sort of skin to it that you would expect from Popeyes, more batter. Chick-fil-A is battered a little bit less, so that it doesn't have as much of that crispy outside crunch. So I like them both. They're both good. Neither of them are revolutionary. I wouldn't tell you to go out of your way to get one. I just happened to be in Natchitoches where they had them, and I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was anything amazing. Hyrel says he ate one in Mansfield, and he said it's just larger than Chick-fil-A. Yeah, it's a little bit bigger than Chick-fil-A. But again, not that great. And Cody said that's because Chick-fil-A is God's chicken. That's why they don't serve it on Sunday, everybody. So, yeah, I would tell you if you go to Chick-fil-A, get some nuggets. If you go to Popeyes, get a 4-piece spicy, get some red beans and rice. Don't get mashed potatoes. Let's not make Roger sick around here. Get some red beans and rice. They're really good. But don't go to either Chick-fil-A or Popeyes expecting to get the world's greatest chicken sandwich. I don't know what the world's greatest chicken sandwich is, but it ain't one of those. Let's take a break. I was right there with you, Hambone. The Patrick Netherton Show. Text us if you like, 318-657-0-HAM, 318-657-0426. Willie Fritz coming up in about 20 minutes or so. It's the Patrick Netherton Show.
If I hear you calling, but I can't come home right now.
11:30 The Tiger, your home for LSU sports, powered by Jack Spring Electric.
One of the cool guys I know, Rogers Hampton Jr. here. How cool do you like your house to be?
Hey, man, I like it to be my high school football number, 34 degrees.
Celsius or Fahrenheit?
I don't know. What do those mean?
I don't know either. We're going to the metric system soon. Book it.
I know who we can call to find out.
AccuTemp, 861-2255, 861-2255.
I'm Jimmy Dean, and I'm kind of a morning person, but Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwiches are great for breakfast, good for snacks, hot lunches, whatever melts your butter.
Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwiches. Enjoy them anytime.
When is a calculator more than a calculator? When it takes me from solving math problems
to exploring the universe.
Staples is your back-to-school destination. Find all the supplies and inspiration you need. Come in store this week for great deals under $1. Right now, Staples one-subject notebooks are just 25 cents each, and Staples composition books, 2 Pocket Poly folders, and 24-pack Crayola crayons are just 50 cents each. Staples, back to school and beyond. In-store only, ends 8/31/19. Limit 30 on notebooks, folders, and crayons while supplies last.
Okay, my to-do list. 1, start a to-do list. Check. 2, finish the first thing on my to-do list. Killing it. 3, treat myself at JCPenney.
Yes! They're back to school. You're back to you. Hurry in Thursday to Sunday for the Reset and Reconnect sale. Get 50% off select St. John's Bay for him and her. Plus select women's denim for $19.99. Get an extra 25% off with your JCPenney credit card and coupon. Find it in the app wallet. JCPenney. Offers valid 8/22 to 8/25. Credit offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
Okay, my to-do list. 1, start a to-do list. Check. 2, finish the first thing on my to-do list. Killing it. 3, treat myself at JCPenney.
Yes! They're back to school. You're back to you. Hurry in Thursday to Sunday for the Reset and Reconnect sale. Get 50% off select St. John's Bay for him and her. Plus select women's denim for $19.99. Get an extra 25% off with your JCPenney credit card and coupon. Find it in the app wallet. JCPenney. Offers valid 8/22 to 8/25. Credit offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
Join Mark Patrick Hypnosis and lose weight or stop smoking for only $49.99 guaranteed. That's Sunday, September 22nd at the Wyndham Garden Hotel in Shreveport. Weight loss starts at 11 a.m. and stop smoking at 2 p.m. And Monday, September 23rd at the Lions Community Center in Marshall. Weight loss starts at 5:30 p.m. and stop smoking at 8 p.m.
At Westin Hotels and Resorts, our entire reason for being is your well-being, which is why our wellness offerings are curated with one thing in mind: you. An Eat Well menu crafted with fresh ingredients, an on-demand fitness gear lending program that allows you to pack light and stay fit, and our heavenly bed that helps you conquer the day by giving you a restful night. All of it just for you, so you can rise. Explore at Westin.com, a member of Marriott Bonvoy.
You can always count on Miller High Life, the champagne of beers. Always crisp, always easy drinking, always just right. The perfect balance of flavor and refreshment since 1903. Welcome to the High Life. 2019 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Celebrate responsibly.
It's time for some straight talk. Look, you wouldn't spend more to get the exact same thing, would you? No. So when I tell you that Straight Talk Wireless runs on the same cell towers as the big guys but charges up to half the cost, you see where I'm going with this, right? Get America's best 4G LTE networks for less. The unlimited plan is just $45 a month with 25 gigs at high speeds, then 2G. Straight Talk Wireless, only at Walmart.
Savings may vary. See straighttalk.com.
Right now, I'm holding a perfectly ice-cold Coors Light. You know how I know it's the perfect temperature? Because the mountain on the can is blue. And also, it's really cold. Every Coors Light is cold filtered, cold lagered, and cold packaged. Notice how many times I said cold? 3 times. It's that cold. So make sure the mountain on your can of Coors Light is blue, because that means it's ready to enjoy. 2019 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
It's back to school. This Saturday and Sunday at Target, get 15% off your next purchase when you spend $10 on school supplies for every school list. Get 15% off your next purchase when you spend $10 on folders and composition notebooks.
Noted.
Or on markers, crayons, and more.
One in every color, please.
This Saturday and Sunday at Target, get 15% off your next purchase when you spend $10 on school supplies. In-store only. Low prices for back to school at Target. 15% off offer valid September 3rd through 21st. Restrictions may apply.
KWKH, Shreveport, Bossier City.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner at first, the pitch, swing and a miss! Tigers win! Tigers win!
Floating through the airwaves like smooth hickory smoke, Patrick Netherton.
We welcome you back to the Patrick Netherton Show, 11:30 The Tiger. Brian does not like my take on the spicy chicken sandwich from Popeyes, Rogers. Brian says, you're an insane person. Menden has them, and I had the spicy today. It's like God Almighty made a chicken sandwich.
No matter what you
I'm sorry, Brian. It just didn't. I wanted to, like, I literally went in hoping to be blown away by it. I I was rooting for Popeyes to win and be the best chicken sandwich I've ever put in my mouth in my entire life. And it just wasn't. It was fresh. It was good. It was crunchy. Like, I don't have anything bad to say about it, but it just didn't blow me away. My apologies to everyone that wanted this to be the greatest thing in the history of man. It just didn't do it for me. And I'm sorry. I wish I had a better answer for you. I wish I had a better, and again, I'm not a chicken sandwich guy anyway. I think chicken sandwiches are, if you're going to cook a good piece of chicken, just eat the chicken. I don't think you need to involve bread. Sometimes bread is great. Raj, you put a little link of sausage on some white bread and put a little mustard on it, or maybe some barbecue sauce. That's delicious. Little sausage sandwich. That's great. But it just it's not quite the thing. Just turned into the secondhand news guy. I don't know about that. I mean, I wish I could give you a better review, but it didn't do anything for me. Again, fresh, cooked well, crunchy, like all the ingredients were there. It just didn't do anything, and the spicy didn't taste like anything. That's what drove me crazy. It didn't taste like, I don't know, it just didn't taste like it. I don't know. Jacob chimes in and says, God's already made a chicken sandwich, the double down. Remember that thing, Raj, from, was it KFC? Where they put the bun was chicken breasts, and they had it was like a chicken cordon bleu, but the bun was chicken breasts instead of a bun. Now, I mean, I can't argue with that, man. That's God doing holy work at his finest, is what that is. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I wish I had something better to tell you, but it just didn't do it for me, and I apologize for that. By the way, the internet's about to go off, so we're about to lose Facebook Live here in just a second. So I apologize for that. So if you want to hear the Willie Fritz interview, download the app or listen on 1130 The Tiger. Apologies, we will not have it on Facebook Live. However, I will upload it and get it on YouTube in case you missed it. We'll have it up for you in just a bit. Let's see. Other than Verlander throwing a two-hitter and losing 2-1, I did watch Hard Knocks finally, Raj, last night, and it actually got a little bit better. And you know why it got a little bit better? Because they started focusing on interesting people on the team. And when they start focusing on interesting people on the team, that's when Hard Knocks is at its best. John Gruden's great, but Rogers, they started talking about this tight end they have that he apparently was with the Ravens when the Ravens were on Hard Knocks like 3 years ago. And basically he said, I was high every single day. Said I was taking pills, I was snorting coke, I was doing anything I could get my hands on, I was on. And he was very intelligent, very forthright, very honest, and said, I just told myself I basically gave up my career. And I just gave up my career. I knew I had basically just, pilled and snorted and used my way out of the league, and I was okay with that. And then he got clean, and he realized he still loved football and wanted to come back. And he comes back, and he's one of the bright, shining stars of Oakland's camp this year. Those are the cool stories. They've got another tight end from Canada. Got long hair. He looks like one of the Handsome brothers. Like he's, got all that going on. Those are the guys that are interesting. That's what makes Hard Knocks unique. Tell me stories about guys I don't know. There's only so many times I can take John Gruden going, let me tell you, man, this guy, let me tell you, man, this Antonio Brown. There's only so much you can take of that. Eventually, you got to do something else. All right. Willie Fritz is coming up next, the head coach of the Tulane Green Wave. It's the Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger.
1130 The Tiger, your home for LSU sports, powered by Jack Spring Electric.
Here we grow again. AirServe Shreveport is currently